Stranger danger.
Did you hear about the woman from Miami who went on vacation with her sister and ended up coming home in a casket? Denish Delancy was just 29 years old, born and raised in Miami, Florida. A certified baddie from Liberty City, she loved to go out, travel, and enjoy life. This March, they were planning to celebrate her sister Sint Maarten's 29th birthday by planning a trip to the island of Sint Maarten with another friend for the very first time. The three young ladies booked a beautiful Airbnb on the Dutch side of the island along with a private driver. As soon as they arrived on the island, they went to their Airbnb, got cleaned up, and immediately went out to have fun at a day party. Later that night, they went to a club called the White Rabbit, and they met a man from Trinidad who was now living in Sint Maarten. He was being very generous and making sure that they were well taken care of. So by the time the night ended, they told their private driver that they didn't need him anymore, and they decided to ride home with this man because he had also booked an Airbnb just a few doors down from theirs.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. You can support uncensored conversations via Cashapp or buying your girl a coffee. I just want to give a quick shout out to my first Faye ambassador. Shout out to Nefertiti. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you guys want to sign up for memberships or sign up to be an ambassador as well to receive a shout out, the link will be in the description down below. Hey y'all, I just wanted to pop in here and talk about the story that's developing. First and foremost, rest in peace. I hope that the family is finding time to grieve. My spidey senses are already tingling from this story. What do you mean you don't need your driver? What do you mean you're going to go home with this man you don't know? What do you mean? This is why when broads had this whole conversation about choosing the bear over men, I know they were lying. It was cap. They would choose the man every single time. Because even in situations like this, where you should be a bit skeptical, they're choosing not to be. They're choosing to trust. Just trust willy-nilly. Why? Because he spent some money. They think that because a man has spent money on you, that somehow makes him trustworthy. But spending money has nothing to do with your character. Anybody could spend money. Hell, Diddy loves spending money. You trust in Diddy? With all them tapes he got? I'm sure Epstein spent a lot of money. Would you have trusted him? Half of y'all bras actually would have trusted him. I wouldn't be surprised. This situation is already a red flag.
They made it back to the room. The birthday girl and their friend Sasha went inside, while Denisha decided she was going to hang out with the men a little bit more. The plan was for them to go back to his Airbnb and hang out, but instead he drove her back to the club, and Denisha never made it back to her sister again. Her sister tried calling Denisha's phone over and over again, but there was no answer. Some hours later, they got a call from their private driver asking them if they were okay. And the girl said yes, but Denisha never made it back from hanging out with that man. When the driver heard this, he said, "Oh no, that man you were with, he was found dead early this morning." When the police first arrived on the scene, they thought it was just another traffic accident. But as they investigated, they saw that it was way more than that.
This whole situation is just so sad. It really is, and it could have been avoided. But when you're so blinded by someone spending money, when you're so blinded by it, it causes you to make silly decisions. This is so unfortunate. And this is my first time hearing the story, so I don't know exactly how it plays out. But even just from that beginning, you do not get in a car with somebody you do not know, especially when you are traveling abroad, especially as a woman. Even as a man, it's dangerous. How many men are going to Brazil, linking up with these broads at these clubs, and then they get offed for their organs or they get offed for their money? Like, what are we talking about here? Men get set up in these different areas too. So when you are an American citizen, you should not be going to these other countries just willy-nilly. These other countries are typically low trust societies. They're not like here in the US. And even here in the US, you shouldn't be doing that. Because even with our high trust society, you still shouldn't trust mofos. Ladies, if you are doing a girls trip, unless you got some hating ass girls as part of that trip, y'all need to stick together. I don't care if there's a man out there spending money and you get dollar signs in your eyes. Do not pass go. It is not worth risking your life.
Inside the car, they found a male driver and a female passenger, and they were both unresponsive. But when they investigated further, they realized that the crash was not the cause of their deaths. Police learned that the driver, Quincy Damon Sylvester, was a local businessman who was also suspected of being a drug lord. And police believe this murder was a targeted hit to execute him. Police say they found camera footage showing that there was some unknown men following Quincy around the club all night long. These men allowed them to leave the club and go all the way back to the Airbnb. But when they returned, they took their shot and got their man.
You don't know these people. You have no idea who these people are, and you're just hopping in the car with them. This is actually a very sad story. It's so unnecessary. She did not have to lose her life with this degenerate male, apparently drug lord. This is why you have to be very careful about the company you keep, because their foolishness could end up at your doorstep. And that's the last thing you want, especially if you're not a thug, if you're not out here living that life, if you're being a law-abiding citizen. Ladies, please do not get goo-goo-eyed over a man spending money on you. That does not mean that the man is safe to be around. That does not mean that the man has good intentions. And that certainly does not mean that the people that know that man have good intentions. You gotta move like you have something to lose. If you are gonna travel abroad, and I'm not against travel, I love travel. Hell, I went to China by myself for a few years. I love traveling. But when you travel, you gotta travel smart so that you don't end up coming back in a casket. Rest in peace, and I truly hope that the family is finding some way to heal from this, because this is tragic. You go out to celebrate a birthday and then something like this happens. I really feel bad for the sister, because whenever her birthday comes around, she's not really going to be able to enjoy her birthday because it's tied to something so tragic. But ladies, take this as your sign to move like you got some sense when you out here traveling. Hell, when you are out here in the United States, just move with some sense in general. Pay attention to your surroundings. Please do not get dollar signs in the eyes because a man is spending money on you. You don't know that man. You don't know if he's safe. I can't stand this whole gangster culture that we've glorified. You had the Italians, they glorified their gangsters, and we're out here glorifying our own. But being a gangster, like, that's not something to glamorize. It's actually very dangerous, especially for the people that aren't in that life, but they're associated with somebody that's in that life. Your life is at risk just by being associated. And she didn't even know this man from a can of paint. And she lost her life because of his foolishness, because she made the choice to stay in the car with that man she did not know. It's unfortunate, but like I said, I hope other women learn from this tragic situation. And I do hope that the family finds some healing. I also want to note, the way this woman is telling the story is actually kind of creepy and weird. Like, why are you so excited to talk about how this woman lost her life? I noticed this with some people when they report on different stories. It's like they seem excited to retell stories that are traumatic and disturbing. It's a bit weird to me. There should be a tone match when you're telling a story like this. You should match the tone of the story. I don't know. That was throwing me off. Something about the way this woman was telling the story was it was throwing me off. It was weird. It's like, why are you so excited to talk about this woman dying? It's just, I wasn't feeling that. But y'all, I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. How do you feel about this tragic story? Do you agree with me where it's like, yeah, when you are traveling, hell, when you are in your home, you should still move like you got something to lose. Don't just go out trusting folks. And this is for men as well. Don't just go out trusting these broads. They could be setting you up. You never know what is around the bend. And yeah, you can't predict anything, but we could at least move like we got some sense and not just go willy-nilly out there into the wild with people we don't know. Or do you disagree with me where it's like, I don't even know how you would disagree with me. I'm gonna be honest. If you like the video. The more you interact with it, the more it gets pushed out into the algorithm. Also, hype the video if that function is available. If you're feeling a little extra generous, the link is in the description to buy your girl a coffee. Thank you guys so much, and I will see y'all with the next one. Deuces.